Hey guys, it's the Xbox Nut. I just thought I'd make another video because I made something pretty cool that I quite like anyway. It's starting to lag now, but basically I made a big open space with a Mac map editor. So happy days for finding one of them. So I'm just gonna put the fog on for a bit. That's where my old well, not old, but that's where my last project was, as you can blatantly see. Right, what this is. It's my interpretation of memory addresses and registers. Um, I thought it'd be pretty cool because ages ago I thought the only reason that got me into Redstone was seeing that someone made a CPU, and I recently thought I'm pretty good at Redstone. Why don't we have a go at doing some memory stuff? So that's what I did. Um, I researched it a bit, and I found out that there was one circuit that is mainly used for memory, which is a D, as in D for dummy, D flip flop, which I interpreted and designed around this setup, like this building. No, I didn't design the actual circuit, and so it's got memory storage. So I've got three registers. They're only 3-bit, and there's only a 3-bit input because that's all I could be bothered to do. And it's quite a nice size. I might make a big one over here. Literally, like I might make a 6-bit with maybe 3 or 4 registers. I don't know. But I'll give you a little demonstration. So basically, it's got 3 registers, obviously, and you can put numbers or anything into whichever register you want. So let's put a 3 in the middle, and let's put a 2 in the back. And so you can see it's remembered my numbers, and I can fiddle around with this in whatever way I want, and I can change them. But they won't change unless I press their buttons, and they will save the numbers. No matter what I do to the first two, the third one will stay the same unless I press the button for the third. And I just think this is really cool because you can save stuff and you can, yeah, you can use memory. So you can load numbers in there. So what I was thinking about doing is having an adder, maybe just a 2-bit, because obviously if you have a 2-bit adder, you can only add up, you can add up to a 3-bit number. I was thinking maybe just put a 2-bit adder over here, so that when you add, let's say 1 and 1, it will give you a chance to save that to one of these, or you can just use the normal manual input. So that would be pretty cool. Now I'll show you how it works. So there are a couple of things you need to think about, which I did think about myself. I didn't copy it, but there are 3 parts to a D flip flop. Let's go to the first floor. There are 3 parts. Sorry, this is quite complicated, but basically the D flip flop starts from this corner, and it goes over here, up here. This is one corner, and that's the other. This is an output. This is the output. This is the input to the clock, which is what's used to basically refresh the number. So if you know, like when I input a number, it won't change unless I click the number, push the button. Sorry, pushing the button activates the clock, and that refreshes it, so it adds it, which is what it saves. And so when you press the button, whichever number is in the input, currently is 0, it will be saved to the number, to the torch. And there are 3 of them on each row, on each floor. So if I put a 101, I'd press the clock, all of the clocks would activate, the 0 would do nothing, because there's nothing there, the 1 and the other one will save to the screen. This is the input. Obviously, this is the clock, and there's the output. You're probably wondering, the clock doesn't do anything, there's a huge gap there. Well, actually, I ran it underground because it would save a lot of space. And the inputs of each button, the 3 inputs, all link to every floor, so, excuse me. This is the number 1, this is the one on the far left, over there I think. This one goes into the bottom layer, which is inverted up into the middle layer, and then again inverted into the 3rd layer. And then the second digit, same thing, starts here, and ends over there. Input ran underground so that it can get through the clock, because the clock has to go just there and it has to go around it. And this goes up to the second layer for the input, and the output goes over this bridge into the torch, and the third clock underground input through here goes up and also comes out over here. So it's pretty, I think it's well designed for my first memory cell bank thing. 3 inputs here. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And finally, number 4, the third row. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Each floor is a register, has its own memory, has its individual number. The trickiest part of making this whole thing was probably planning it. I didn't do it on paper or anything, I just went with it, but it took me a while to think about how I'd lay it out, because obviously this thing is pretty big. Well, it's pretty small, really, but if you're thinking about it, it's kind of big. And thinking about these were, I didn't know how much space should be left between them, but I figured because here there are some bridges with redstone on top, that means you can't put a block literally here, so this is the minimum height between each floor. So I just copied that. This is the clock input to all of them, and it runs all the way down, as do the others. The clock input from these are underground, and the middle one is here. They all run underground because it's coming from the control panel. There's a torch under here which lights that up, whereas this one just goes straight down. This is the clock for the third address, the yellow one. This is for the second address, and this is for the first one. The second one goes all the way under, goes through here and up there. The first one goes round and down there, and the third one just goes straight up. So I'll post a schematic for how you build the D flip-flop. There are 3. You don't need to worry about, I don't actually have it in front of me, but I'm trying to think. If this is if these 3 squares are the schematic, there's an A, I think, the top left, that's the input. C, that's the clock, and there's 4 letters, there's S, Q, R, and R with a line above it or something. Only the S, I think, is the one you need to worry about. The one, I'll show you. I don't know what I'm going to put there. Crap. It's the letter here. On this side. Not the red one, not this one down there. It's just this one right here where it comes out. You need to worry about that. That's the output. Clock on the design is shown there going in, but I trailed it out here. And the input's over here. I use the bigger design. I can't remember why, but I think it has some sort of extra feature. The output is separate from something or other, or something, and it's just much more easy to implement. And then these are my little loading panels with buttons, and you can make these as big as you want, as many as you want, and it's just a cool memory circuit. And what you can do, I think, is you could run these out to a 7-segment display and have them have memory cells on the displays, which would be pretty cool. I might get that. I might do that in a while, but not now. Next thing I'm going to do is probably put an adder around here. Have a 2-bit adder that you can save numbers to. So I hope this helps. Schematic of the D flip-flop in the description. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more redstone stuff.